In the Shark Tank project, students researched the meaning and effects of gentrification in order to create a business model that would thrive in the areas of San Francisco affected by gentrification. Throughout this project, it was important for students to use some of the skills learned and improve the effectiveness and understanding of those skills. Students needed to use and build research skills in order to have the ability to search for, locate, organize, evaluate, and use or present information that is relevant to a particular topic. Analysis skills were needed so students could have the ability to collect and analyze information while problem solving and making decisions. Lastly, students needed to use the implementation of critical thinking skills in order to evaluate sources such as data, facts, and research findings. For the content needed for the project, students needed to know the meaning and effects of gentrification, how being an entrepreneur could be an asset to the community, and the effects of being able to sell the business idea to potential investors and community members. Students started the project with learning about gentrification and its effects in San Francisco. If you look at the map of San Francisco, you are able to see the areas that have been, are currently, or in the near future undergoing gentrification. As highlighted, our school, City Arts and Tech High, is one of the areas that has experienced advanced gentrification. This information was important to know and research as it provided real and relevant context for students since they live and have grown up in these areas. After researching the meaning of gentrification and its impact, students did pre-work for the launch of the project. Students were told they would be interviewing people in the community in order to create a business that would be beneficial to the communities affected by gentrification. To begin creating interview questions, students were placed into 5 groups and needed to create questions that would be asked on interview day. As a facilitator, I provided interview questions on a Google Doc. Some of the examples are highlighted in black. As you can see, students created their own questions, and those are highlighted in color. On project launch day, we took a field trip into 3 different areas of the Excelsior that have been affected by gentrification. During this time, students were tasked with using the questions they created to interview business owners and residents of the community while capturing photos that helped tell the stories of these communities. It was my hope that students would be able to later use the photos as inspiration when brainstorming their business idea and creating their pitch. As you can see, students capture photos from local businesses we visited and interviewed, local residents, and street art, which all help to provide an insight to the Excelsior community. For this segment of our project, students were able to use the information from the interview to brainstorm individually business ideas. The students were able to reconvene with their groups to share ideas and rationale before voting and settling on a business. After the students settled on a business, each group used a business model template and created a business model. Students were able to start by brainstorming these ideas for the businesses that would benefit the gentrified areas. And the business model included things such as the executive summary, target market, opportunity, company overview, operations, and financial needs. The final product for the Shark Tank project was for them to create a presentation piece that would present to a panel of sharks, aka investors. As you can see, the students varied in the way they created their presentations. Some groups created a trifold poster outlining things like their marketing strategies, opportunities for growth, and their company goals. Other groups created slides or short videos marketing their business. Finally, one of the most important pieces of this project was the presentation of learning to a panel of teachers. For the presentation of learning, I was very strategic when selecting the other teachers to participate. I looked for some important characteristics and asked specific questions for determining the panel. One of the questions I asked was, do the teachers know the students? It was important that the students felt challenged, but also felt comfortable presenting in front of people they know. Next, I asked if the potential panel members had knowledge of or owned a business. I wanted to ensure that the panel were seen as experts as it relates to the project so the students were able to understand the seriousness of the project. Fortunately, all panel members either owned a business or invested in real estate. Finally, the last question I asked of the panel was, are you willing to give critical and warm feedback? This was important for the students to use when reflecting on their own project.